Hey everybody, this is Alex Kirby in the library. In this video I'm going to try to give you a good example and some advice about how to pick a research topic for a paper. Whenever I talk to students, they often tell me one of the hardest parts of a paper is picking a research topic. Picking a good topic can make the paper go much more smoothly and easily. Picking a bad topic can make writing a paper a lot harder. So one of the first things is think of all the classes you're taking. Right now you're probably registered for 3, 4, or 5 different classes, studying all kinds of different subjects and learning about all kinds of different things. And those things you're learning about in those different classes could be turned into a good research paper, whether it's business or a film class or an education class, health, art, music, philosophy, religion, sociology, psychology. You're learning about all kinds of different things in those classes, so keep your ears open or try to think back to interesting things you discussed in class, and you could probably turn one of those things into a research paper topic. You could also refer to your textbook and just look through your textbook and all the different chapters to find something that interests you to write about. If you find something you've talked about in class, there's probably a lot of research available on it if you discussed it in class. And if you find something that you're interested in, you'll be much more likely to want to read and learn about it, and it'll make writing the paper a lot more fun. Don't just pick a topic to have a topic. Try to pick something you're interested in. It'll make the whole thing a lot more, fun and engaging for you to read about something you're curious to learn about. Let me give you an example about how this process can work. So, say you're taking a biology class. Biology is the study of life in all its different forms, and say as part of that class, your professor mentions the Great Barrier Reef and what an interesting ecosystem it is. And, maybe that triggers your interest a little bit. You think the Great Barrier Reef is pretty interesting, and maybe you'd like to read and learn a little bit about it. Maybe you want to visit it someday. So this is where we start to do background reading on our topic to learn the fundamentals and look for more specific areas of the topic we'd like to research. A good place to do that is the library's Encyclopedia Britannica database, where we can read encyclopedia articles on different subjects to help introduce them to us. So this is the article on the Great Barrier Reef. So we scroll through and we read all about the Great Barrier Reef. And we see this mention here of this phenomena called coral bleaching. And it's something that happens that causes some of the coral to whiten and seemingly die off in the Great Barrier Reef. So obviously that's a big problem. We don't want that to happen. So you decide that maybe you'll focus on this around coral bleaching and see what we can learn about it. What causes it? How can it be prevented? Things like that. So we started with the library's Encyclopedia Britannica to start our research, but then we move on to the library's EBSCO database to get more in depth, and we actually found that there's a large amount of research on coral bleaching. So we go into depth on that and we read about coral bleaching and how it's impacting the Great Barrier Reef, and again, how it can be prevented, what's causing it, things like that. And now that we have good research here and scholarly sources, we can build towards an actual research paper. And then we have our research paper about preventing coral bleaching in the Great Barrier Reef that we turn into our professor for our class. So that's just a great example of how you can take, something you've talked about in class or something you've stumbled upon that you find interesting, do some light reading on it, find something really more specific and interesting that we want to research and find out about it. What is coral bleaching? How do we prevent coral bleaching? We have questions that we want answered, and we research and find those answers to those questions, and we turn it into a research paper. So it's not always as neat and tidy as this example I just showed you, but this is how the process can go. Sometimes you'll have to change topics after you start with one. Maybe you won't find enough information or something like that. But if you have questions about picking a research paper topic, remember you can always stop in the library and ask, and we can help suggest topics. Of course, your professors can also help you pick topics as well. But if you have a big research paper project that you're working on, I highly recommend you get started looking for a topic for your paper. You can't get anything done until you pick a good topic, so the sooner you get started, the sooner you can get working on your paper. Good luck, everybody.